Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am up for Follow a Sketch February. Today I am scrapbooking this photo of me with a cookie that my husband had dropped off at my work. He had come back from a business trip and he stayed at the Doubletree, and if you don't know about the Doubletree's cookies, you gotta get yourself one. Like, they are just the best, and when they're warm, so delicious. So I'm going to be using this photo right here, or this sketch right here, rather. It is on my Pinterest board. You can find that board in the description down below. I've got my photo, I've got my sketch. Let's see what I can do. Now, I know you were looking at this and thinking, dang, Sandy, that is some bright yellow cardstock. And you know what, guys? It is some bright yellow cardstock, but I think that the layout ends up working. So I am using my homemade kit. I gotta figure out how to say that. I don't think everybody else, I don't think they say my For the Love of Homemade Kits kit. I don't think they say kit twice. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, this striped kind of wood grain paper I have been holding on to because I love it and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I kept going back and forth between cutting it into strips like I did here, using it as stripes or like as a full background sheet. And, I made the decision. I cut it into stripes. So it's all good. I wanted to make sure that I was getting multiple colors in here. I wanted to definitely make sure that I was getting the yellow in there since I pulled the yellow cardstock. And the yellow cardstock, I really think that makes the photo pop because, it's weird when you're scrapbooking, especially it's a selfie photo, and I'm worrying about making that photo pop because, whatever. Anyway, the photo is of the time where my husband came back from a business trip and he had stayed in a Doubletree hotel, and he had brought me back one of their cookies. And you guys, if you don't know about the Doubletree cookies, you are missing out. So if you ever happen to stay at a Doubletree, you need to get yourself some of the cookies because, oh my word, they are so good. Like, super, super good. Just really good. I know I keep saying that, but really, really good. So, yeah, there is that. Okay, so I'm just getting all of these strips cut down and trimmed down so that they kind of match up with the sketch. And I have decided that I'm going to kind of flip the sketch just because of the orientation of my photo. So I felt like when it was over on the other side, it just felt a little weird. Now, when I originally put this white acrylic paint down on top of the paper here, I thought I was just going to do it kind of like over the areas where my embellishment and photo was going to be. But then I decided, you know what? There's a lot of paint that I've put on here, and I'm just going to scrape it all the way over the page so that the entire background kind of has this white paint overlay on top of it. And usually if I would have realized that I was going to be painting the entire layout, I probably would have put it down on top of one of my acrylic pieces or like my Tim Holtz glass mat, because I really do try to keep this mat kind of clean. That's because, you guys see it like all the time in my videos, so I don't want it to be super disgusting or anything like that. I purposely cut off the red bit out of this striped piece, and I figure there's enough red in the photo. Like, I didn't need extra. And then there's enough red like in this little background piece that we don't really need to worry about that. I mean, everybody knows that I'm working at Target, so like there it is. Now, this is one of those pieces of the cut apart sheet where they were like 12 by 12, the 12 by 12 sheet with 12-inch long strips. So I went ahead and I'm fussy cutting out the little scallopy bits. And that's just, going along great. I tested it out because honestly, I don't mind fussy cutting. I don't mind it at all, actually, but I don't want to waste my time fussy cutting something when it doesn't need to be fussy cut. So I don't mind fussy cutting, but I don't want to do more fussy cutting than necessary. I hope that makes sense. So over here, I'm going to add in this little piece as well. And, of course, I am a top-down scrapbooker. So I pull up the little blue thing, and then I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, this is funky. So I need to adjust this of where it actually sits on the layout and where the little blue piece goes around it. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this will work. Actually, I don't like that. We're going to pull it right on up. And then you don't see much of that piece at all. You only see the little teeny bit at the top, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. So then I'm going to layer up these bottom pieces over here. And like I said, I want to make sure that I'm getting pretty much all of the colors from this strip right here. So I have the dark blue, the teals, kind of like that neutral color, the yellow and the pink. And the yellow and the pink I feel like are plenty represented by the time I get finished with this layout. So I also have this cool little cut off part, and I decide that that needs to be fussy cut as well. And I figure out how much needs to be fussy cut beforehand. And I am making sure that I'm holding my scissor hand still, and I am literally moving around the paper. And I feel like with this long strip of paper, you can really see that I'm not moving my scissor hand very much at all. I mean, there is where I am closing the blade, like it goes down a little bit. But I'm going to have a fussy cutting video up shortly. So if you are already a pro at fussy cutting, have a watch and listen to me run my mouth, I guess. But if you want to, I guess, hear and see some fussy cutting kind of in true time and all that kind of stuff, it'll be up soon. So I decided to go ahead and trim a little bit on this side as well, just where you could see it, because like I said, you don't need a fussy cut where it's not going to be seen. So I layer this up directly underneath of the photo, and I feel that that just gives the photo a little bit more of a solid ledge. Now that is my heavy body gold paint, and I thought about using that as well with the white, but it didn't make it onto the layout. I decided not to. So I am trying to create that little cluster that's up in the top sketch. So I'm just trying to figure out how to create that. And I'm making sure that I'm adding in the same colors that I have down here at the bottom, because I want it to be, cohesive. And this is where I bring back in that little red piece that I was talking about that I didn't really need because, I am in the target colors in the photo. But, ultimately it comes back. You don't see a whole lot of it though. You only see a small little bit of it, and I felt like it was like enough. Like you didn't need much more of it whatsoever. And I am taking entirely too long figuring out how to get this situated just right. But once I figure it out, yay, we're all good. So I'm going to put that here up at the top. Of course, we're going to add some more adhesive. Now, because my white paint was so thinly applied, it dried in almost no time. So if you guys are worried that I'm laying stuff down right on top of wet paint, I'm really not. It is truly dry. Okay, so I got these thickers from Tuesday Morning in Phoenix, and I feel like I'm probably going to be saying I got this at Tuesday Morning in Phoenix for a while, just because my Tuesday Morning, I have to drive a little bit to get to it, and it's not fabulous. So there is that. Now, I am totally ripping off of my friend Christina Sorge. So her, for For the month of February, her How to Kill a Kit with Style kit was her going to Tuesday morning and having a budget and spending that budget and getting everything she needed to make a kit. Well, she's got great Tuesday mornings over there, like great Tuesday mornings. And I don't. So I told her I should do this, but I should do it to see if I can actually make a decent kit and what happens. So I'm totally ripping off of her idea. So basically, next month, for the month of March, I will have a homemade kit and I will have a How to Kill a Kit. So yeah, I got to get a lot of scrapbooking done in March. Probably not another video every single day in March like I'm doing in February, but I do have to say I am thoroughly enjoying making videos and doing the voiceovers and just getting them up and live. And, some days there's even 2 videos. So that's, I'm feeling like really good about myself here. So you saw me going through the embellishments and such things in my kit. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want things and where I think the little decorations go. I really tried to use that wood veneer heart, but it just didn't fit right. But I really did like the flare button and the little flower over here. Now these tiny little wood veneer hearts, big fan of these. Big fan. So I do nestle the heart underneath the Y and then over here on the flower. And then I think, ooh, I should bring in this gold tag because gold, it's good. Now I do know that some people are kind of over gold. And that's okay. You can be over it. Like if you're over it, then don't put gold on. Try a different metal. I am a fan of gold in my scrapbooking, but in my jewelry, the only gold that I really have, I've got a couple random gold things, but the only gold I really have are my wedding rings. And I think just about everything else is white gold or silver. It might be. So now I'm just taking these little bits and I'm actually getting them stuck down. And I am pulling out these puffy hearts. These are from Rosie's Studio. And they have these great khaki color ones right here. And I just really think that they just go great with this layout. Because I kind of feel like this layout leans both ways. It kind of leans toward like the neutral and kind of beigey type things, but then it definitely has that pop. So I feel like I was trying to play up both of them, trying to get that pop going and also trying to keep it neutral. So I don't know if that makes sense to anyone or if you think that was just a bunch of utter nonsense coming out of my mouth. But in my mind, that's what I was doing, and I kind of think it worked. Now, this little arrow right here with the 2 different colors was actually a perfect color match for what I had, but it just didn't fit. And I wasn't just going to stick something on there because it was a good color. I felt like I needed to have something on there more than just a color. Now, I did feel like the little polka dotted thing and the floral had a little bit of a disconnect with lying on top of each other like that. So I did feel like I needed to bring something in to just kind of kind of make it go together. And I feel like I did an okay job with it. Ultimately, once I finally finish putting this thing down, please tell me I put something there because I really need to put something there. Come on, Sandy. Oh, maybe I did use the arrow. Look at that. I ended up using the arrow. I probably should have pulled the layout down. But my pile for this month is pretty large. and it's way over there, and I'm just too lazy to get up and get it. I do hope I put something there, because the more I'm watching myself scrapbook this page, the more I'm like, girl, you need to put something there. So fingers crossed I put something there and I don't drive myself crazy. Now I do use that portion of the sticker right there just to bring kind of the darker colors down a little bit more on the page, because I kind of have it up at the top. I have it in this middle section, and I felt like I needed to bring that deeper reddish color down to the bottom of the page a little bit more. Now, I thought that this was cool with what I did up here. So I have this banner sticker, and I placed the flare badge on top of a portion of it and then put the flare badge back where it was. And I just really like the look of this. Like, it totally made my day. And I was like, oh, this is cute. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that down there. I'm going to adjust the flower a little bit, move them around, and figure out which flower actually needs to go there. And then I need to add some of this Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. And I've seen some comments pop up in my notifications where you guys are just as excited about that Nouveau Deluxe adhesive that I am, and that makes me like super happy. I feel like I'm like on a mission for certain things in the scrapbooking world. Like, my number one mission is to like try to get it out there, to just create and have fun. And if you like it, that's all that matters. Like that is kind of like my mantra. And I have to say, when I adopted that, and that's not to say I still don't struggle with having that attitude all the time while I'm creating, but ever since I've adopted that mantra where it's just like, I'm enjoying this, I'm having fun, I'm getting my memories put down on a page, ever since that started, like, my scrapbooking has become so much more. And I mean more in both the satisfying way, like I'm more satisfied with my scrapbooking, and also the amount of scrapbooking that I'm doing, just more of it. And that makes me happy. And that's what it's about. Because if you're miserable while you're scrapbooking, like, you got to figure out why. If you look at your scrapbooking like, oh, I got to go scrapbook, or oh, I got to go put pictures in a page protector, or whatever it is, if there's something in scrapbooking that's making you miserable, you got to figure out what it is. Like, is it just, do you feel like you have to go in there and scrapbook? Because when you feel like you have to do something, then the joy does kind of come out of it a little bit. Or do you like maybe not like the format that you're doing right now? Like, I feel that way about my pocket pages for each month for the 2018. I dread doing it. Dread it. Because I just don't enjoy it. It was something that I decided to try, but I don't like it, but I still have to finish it. So but you know what? I'm going to finish that project and I won't do it again because I know I don't like it. I should probably do it. I need to get another month done before the end of February, so yeah. Okay, so now I am taking a pen and I am writing directly on top of this red paper. And you can't see it very well like on camera at all. You just can't. But you can read it in person, and I'm okay with that. And while I was running my mouth about liking what you scrapbooked, as you can see, I put some floral stickers down. I really didn't break up the area between that red and the floral too much, but the sticker did cut it in half. So I'm okay with that. I do like the way that this page turned out. So that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.